one of the biggest problems is that right there, the broken Acme nut, which slides along the spiral screw, I guess, bolt. There's where I took off the first bolt that connects to the slide out itself, which I propped up, if you go back to that other picture, with a jack just so it didn't move. There's all the rest of the pieces of that was kind of stuck up inside of that slide. So once I took those 4 bolts off, then you'll see here in just a second there's one more bolt that kind of keeps the slide out storage secured right there. You have to remove that. Those are the 2 main bolts up underneath that attaches it to the vehicle. You're not supposed to be able to move this thing right here like that. That's kind of proof that it is broken. There's the slide up underneath. You can see those bolts. There's actually only 4 bolts that right there that connect it to the vehicle. Those front 2 that are on the outside can be removed immediately, while the 2 in the middle will actually kind of balance it. Just slide it out. There's the motor. There's a couple electrical connections there that you need to pop apart. I just used a Sharpie to know which ones attach back to the right ones. There it is. Pop off this side cover now, it gets you inside. There's the mess. There's the broken Acme nut. I did put some grease on this nut when I reinstalled it. As you can see, it's full of grease there. There's a few screws. There's the little pin you have to pop out of there to disconnect it from the motor. There's all the pieces everywhere. There's another one of those covers on the other side you have to get into to access to pop that motor off and get the pins out. There's the pins. Pop that guy out of there and it'll release what should have been the nut. Actually, that nut goes right in there. So obviously those pins are just kind of hanging there because the nut's completely destroyed. And those are bent a little bit, as you can see. So we got some new pins. For some reason it came with 4 pins, and they told me I needed 4, but there was only 2 that I actually needed. There's the new nut on. I screwed it in there and put the pins in through the holes. Reattach the motor to that big long shaft. And everything back to how it goes, and believe it or not, it is really not a very hard process, and you will have a working slide. What I read online is this is a very common problem with these type of Kwikee slides. The only thing I have to do now is to adjust it on the inside. I think that there's like hold a button with like a pin to reset the system so that it's back to 0, so that both slides work at the same time, because they were a little bit off. But man, it's a couple hours, and it didn't have any problem making this repair. Pretty easy. High five. Enjoy.